Well, two of the cast anyway.
Two of the cast anyway.
These two are the writers.
Yes.
Yes, we're the boring people.
So great to see you all here. Welcome, welcome. I know that we are so excited to discuss Two Doors Down, but first of all, I'll start with you, Mr. Norton. How have you been enjoying Comic-Con so far? How's the experience been for you?
It's fantastic. I'm loving this.
Yay!
This is not a thing I do a lot of, because I'm not in any sort of, cartoony stuff. But I did one of these before and I enjoyed this. And I'm having huge fun just watching all the people who've gone to so much effort to put these costumes together. Yeah. It's amazing. I think it's just a wonderful thing. I've been smiling all day.
Good. We've done our job right if he's smiling all day. That's what Comic-Con is all about. And Arabella, how has it been for you today?
Really, really good fun. I've only done one of these before because I was in Doctor Who. Yes. So I did it in an entirely different capacity, but very good fun. And as Alex says, it's so amazing seeing everyone, particularly the little kids dressed as the characters. I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought you were the best Dalek of them all.
How about you guys? How's the day been for you so far?
It's been great fun. Great to meet people that watch the show. That's probably been the highlight from a selfish point of view, talking to people that had seen the show and been in touch online and stuff. So it's great to meet them in person.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I got to meet Peter Davidson as well, who's Doctor Who. Yeah, when I was a little younger, he was Doctor Who. So it was a great treat. It's a great treat. And I think the costumes are just fantastic. And it was just saying to Greg, it's such an open and inclusive atmosphere. And it's great to see that. It's great to see that in Scotland. And everybody's. You can come here. You can do what you want. You can be what you want for the day. And I think it's just incredible, absolutely blown away by it.
But next time we're here, can somebody come dressed as people from Two Doors Down, please?
Yeah.
Yes.
We could definitely make that happen.
It'd be Christine, though, wouldn't it? Christine or Kathy. It's not going to be us.
Yes.
I would totally be Christine. But no, that's exactly what Comic-Con is all
No,
about.
you'd be Kathy. She'd be Kathy, wouldn't she?
You're very
Shouldn't
Kathy.
Christine?
Yeah, you're great.
She's Kathy.
I love
She's
it.
definitely not Christine.
Thanks, question mark. But no, that's exactly what Comic-Con is all about. And whether you're into, Star Wars, Star Trek, Two Doors Down, Stranger Things, there's something for everybody, and it is a very inclusive, safe, fun environment. But you did mention cosplay. So much effort and passion goes into our cosplay. So round of applause for our cosplayers today. We had a big competition on here that was a lot of fun to watch. And if you guys are just joining us for the first time here, there are microphones on the left and the right. I'm going to fangirl and ask a few questions myself, but then we do invite you to go ahead and come and see the microphones. And if you want to ask a question, please don't be shy. Now, I just sort of briefly explained to them before we started that I come from a wrestling background, and I am a good friend.
Just like Kathy.
And I'm a good friend of Grado. Any Grado fans in the house? So that is why I tuned into the show initially, and I thought, oh my gosh, what is he talking about? What is this? Hooked immediately. Okay. And that's, a testament to you guys and you, of course. Yeah. So first of all, can we talk about how you got involved in the show? I'd love to hear from you how your career led you to Two Doors Down.
Oh, well, now that's the thing. I don't know how my career led me to anything that I ever did. My career, such as it was, usually began with the phone ringing. And it's my agent saying, they want to see you for whatever it is, or would you be interested in going up for this? And sometimes, depending on what it is, you will go along and do a reading. Read the part. Either they'll send you a couple of sheets and you memorize it and go in and do that. Or if they know you, I guess, they offer you, they make you an offer. And this was an offer. Yep. This came out of the blue. To say BBC from my agent saying that BBC Scotland are doing a New Year show, a special thing for New Year. It's a comedy, sort of drama comedy, but mainly comedy. And would you be interested in having a look at the script? Oh yes, of course. And when the script came in, I've said this so many times that I don't want to sound like a bum kisser, but when I read the script, I've said it so many times. When I read the script, I thought, this is something that you don't see every day. The actors always say there's maybe once every 6 years, if you're lucky, you get something in that you go, oh yes. And this was that. When I read that first script, I thought, this is wonderful. I loved what they were doing. I loved the writing. I loved the characters. I loved the fact that it wasn't just a kind of in-your-face, funny thing. Funny. It had pathos. a real human drama. And out of that drama, out of the humanity of it, came the humor. So yes, please put my name down. I'm in. And we did it, and I loved it. And then, surprise, surprise, came the phone call saying, they're doing a series. Do you want to do the series? Okay, let me think about it. All right, I've thought about it, yes. I didn't have to think about it very long, if at all. It's been a joy to do, and very, very fortunate. You know, there's been things I've been in my life that I feel very fortunate to have been in, and this is just one of the highlights, without a doubt. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, I love that. Highlight for us as well. Hi there, Bella.
Unlike Alex, I did have to audition for it. And thank you. And does everyone know? Maybe you don't. I was in a very successful comedy show called The Fast Show, which was hugely successful. But when I read this script, I remember thinking I've never wanted a job more in my life. And I was so desperate. So unlike Alex, I had to audition, as I say. And then I had to audition again with Alex, because they said, oh, they like you, but they want to see if you and Alex will be a good fit. And we weren't. And so I auditioned with Alex, and then I had no idea, and I had to wait over a weekend. And I remember saying to a friend of mine who's from Paisley, whose accent I do in the show, and I said, I've never wanted a job more in my life. And he went, I don't know that you're the right fit for that show. So when I got it, I was really, I was David Tennant. And I absolutely love doing the show. And like Alex, I think the other thing that happens is when you're an actor, particularly if you're a female actor, you're told that you can expect to get less and less work the older you get, because that's sort of the way it used to be. So I don't just love being in the show. I feel so fortunate and happy and lucky to be in a show later in life with other women and people who aren't, you know, everyone's not young and hip, although we've got some young and hip people in it. So, yeah, I did audition. So in a way, I earned it more than Alex, if you think about it.
And for you guys creating the show, I mean, with all due respect to, you know, we've been talking a lot about very CGI, splashy, Marvel type of things. What I love about the show is it's very relatable. All the characters are relatable. Is that something that you thought would stand out with this show?
Yeah, I think we wanted to do something that was just in everybody's living rooms, and so that's why we film. 90% of it is just people sitting down and talking. But we thought, well, people spend so much time just in the house more and more these days, and you know, especially after COVID, and that was what we set out to do. And we also, you know, Arabella's talking about the female parts as well. We wanted to create good parts for women, not just hopefully for men too, but you know, we didn't want just the men doing all the jokes, the men getting all the good lines, the men getting the storylines. We wanted to do, you know, in the families, I don't know, but everybody in my family growing up, the women were strong and sometimes a bit reckless and a bit crazy and all the rest. And we wanted those women to be at the centre, and we wanted it also I think we wanted it to be relatable, not you know, every part of the UK, but to be relatable for all parts of Scotland too, because I think we felt that, correct me if I'm wrong, but you know, we'd seen a lot of comedy that had come out of the west of Scotland, and it was all about Glasgow people and all the rest of it, and that was funny. But you know, and although we were set in the west of Scotland, it was like, well, actually, we talked about Beth's character and where she had come from, and she'd come from, we figured, Perthshire maybe originally. So, and we wanted, you know, somebody's partner to be from down south. We wanted it just to be so that any street, any family in Scotland could relate to, and it didn't feel too Glasgow, basically. That was another thing. So, I hope that answers the question.
No, for sure. Did you want to expound upon that at all?
Just to echo what Simon was saying, we always really wanted it just to be about everyday life, and so it was always going to be about sort of quite mundane things and about, you know, the small things in life, and like, but then within that, even though it's a very small canvas, you can get into like a lot of areas. You can get into social attitudes, different behaviours, people's attitudes towards, like, you know, things in the news or the things in their own lives or the problems they're facing. So, like, even from a very kind of, like, you know, apparently quite a kind of small and sort of mundane starting point, you can actually kind of get quite deep into how they feel about life and what's kind of going on with them.
That's true. But, I mean, my mother and father, used to be able, the row that would start about the bins or what colour a bin it was going out could end up with him walking out the door and saying, that's it, it's over. So you could, we get there in half an hour. It only took them 5 minutes, but you can get there with that. So that's the way real life. Well, it did in my house anyway. I don't know, but that's kind of what we wanted to get across as well.
Yeah, for sure. And that's so well said, because there's so much funny and humor in the mundane and in that sort of stuff. And even if you can't relate to one of the characters, you have an auntie that she's so like her, or a nosy neighbor for sure. Now, what characters, if you have a favorite other than your own in the show, what character do you love the most other than yourself? Or you can say yourself if you'd like. I won't judge.
Oh, well, I know I'd play Kathy in a heartbeat. I am Kathy, more like in real life.
Grado. I want to be Grado. I think he's fabulous. Alan, your character, Alan. Yeah. I love his humour, that deadpan. Aye, no. And he does it so brilliantly.
They're like brownies, but they're shit.
He's got no filter.
No filter.
Maybe you shouldn't play favorites, but do you guys have a favorite character to sort of that stands out to you?
Yeah, I couldn't pick a favourite. They're all. There's probably characters in the show that we are closest to personality.
Sure.
Yeah,
nice.
I think so.
I think Kathy and maybe.
I think
You're Beth, Gregory. You're not Beth. Are you Christine?
Well, I think it's you kind of go into the characters as well when you're doing it. So I won't ask you to do your Christine right now, but no, I think Kathy is probably. By no means my favourite, but again, you can sort of see where they come from. My mother, who is not she's not here today in the room, so there was quite a lot, probably my mother there, but you can see where they come from. But you just divide up your head and go into them at different parts during the day. But Beth and Eric are really
genuinely, because we've done quite a few series now. Like when we're writing the show, genuinely now, it's like they're kind of real people, and you're kind of going, yeah, but you wouldn't do that. And it's like, no, you're right, we wouldn't do that. So we can't have that in the show because that's not how we'd behave. So they've sort of got a bit of a life of their own in a way.
They are real people. They feel real to me.
Yeah, they feel real. Well, the quick Grado story, if you guys are watching on YouTube, we put these panels up, and there's one of Grado and I in this very venue. And Grado's just, I couldn't stop laughing. Everything he says is funny, and just his mannerisms are so funny. For example, under his breath, there was a little boy that said, I wonder if I could fight you, blah, blah, blah. And he turned to me and said, I'd like to see him try. And then answered the question in a very polite, sweet way, but I lost it. So his humor is so funny. And again, he was the reason I tuned in, but I stayed for all of the other amazing characters, as you're seeing here. We have a question over here from these lovely ladies on the left. Hi, girls.
Hi, I was just wondering if you have any people from your life who you take inspiration for your character from.
Who you take inspiration from, people in your life that you take inspiration from, whether it's writing or acting.
My character is a direct split of my granny from Melrose, you're in the Borders, and David Tennant's mum. It's a direct mix of the two. That's it.
I don't know if I take inspiration for Eric's character from anyone in particular. In personal life, when I started acting, I was 14 when I'd started. I was at the junior course in the drama college in Glasgow, as was Johnny Watson. Although we didn't really know each other at that time, but we both started off as young actors. And my acting hero, was the actor I did my first professional job with, which was Roddy McMillan. I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember Roddy. Or Parahandy. He was my ideal. I remember for years thinking, if I manage to become a professional actor, I want to be like Roddy McMillan. I wish I'd thought of Sean Connery, but Roddy was as high as I could think. He was a great actor.
You guys did talk about how some of the characters have been pulled a little bit from real life, but anyone in particular that keeps coming up and
it's
getting
more
to the
like
page?
they're kind of amalgams of a few different people, from aunties and mums, my mum. Also, like the some of that used to look after my little girl when she was really small. Like that person, was quite an inspiring presence as well. So I think as much as sort of individual people, it's really tapping into memories of big arguments or holidays or big like sort of family parties and like exactly,
Trauma.
Yeah, those sorts of traumas. Yeah.
Good for you. Made it funny. Thank you, ladies, so much. We've got a question over here on the right. Hello.
I just wanted to say, absolute brilliant Scottish comedy writing. One of my questions is, what would be your favourite line from any series from 1 to 6?
Oh,
My favourite would be Eric's, you're not happy when you're pissing on someone else's chips.
My favourite was Kathy shouting when Eric's character had an operation on his bum and he was having to lie flat on the sofa. Kathy shouts, she says, wait a minute, Beth will know. Beth, is it rectum or anus?
I remember from that episode as well, when Eric finally manages to get to the loo and they're all listening outside the door. And he opens the door and goes, have you all been standing there listening to me having a poo? No.
Thank you so much. We've got a question over here on the left. Hiya.
Hi, my question is, have you got a funny Oh, sorry. Do you have any funny memories of something going wrong on set during filming?
Well, I think we did have
long
one
have you got?
character. We did have one character who's she was pregnant and her waters broke. That was a highlight.
Wait for the laugh.
I know, but I think oh God, it's a tough question. That is a tough question. I mean, you film each scene. Oh God, I mean 10 times. So I think, I mean, you guys will know better than me. After a while, you know,
Nothing's funny.
Nothing's funny, but you become slightly hysterical.
Yeah,
so
after you've gone through the scene for the 10th time, you think, what was funny? What did I think was funny about this?
yes,
It's hard. I mean, it's difficult. No, it's not hard. It's difficult to do because you have to keep the same freshness and the approach to the scene as you did, you know, the first time around. You've got to keep that all the time. And I think we generally sort of manage that.
There are many times when, like, do you remember when Kathy danced for Colin? She
Yeah.
recreated there. We all lost it there many times. There was like, we were finding that very difficult to shoot.
Yeah. I'm going to blow the whistle here. I'm going to blow the whistle on Elaine C. Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's the one that starts it every time. She's the first to go up every time. And you can see it coming. You just see her face and you just see that wee twitch. And you know, if she catches your eye, that's it. That's the end of the story. So you think, oh, please let us get through to the end of the scene, please, please. And try not to catch her eye and look away. And then she sees that little twitch in your face. And that's the end of the story. Okay, let's go again, please. First positions, everybody.
Thank you. We've got a question here on the right. Hello.
What was your favourite scene to film?
It was so ludicrous, and I didn't think it was funny at all, but everyone else did. When everyone said, who's got a special party trick, and I had to meow,
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
and I thought, all the rest of the cast were losing. I thought, this isn't funny. Why is it funny? But that was very funny to film, because, of course, Beth really thinks it is a party trick that she meows. So that was pretty good fun. But it's all, we all really love making it, and we have a good time doing it, but that was funny.
I'm trying to think. I think I love, you know, every now and again you write Eric doing a wee party piece.
yes,
Whether it's a magic trick or a recitation. And I love that because this is Eric's moment in the sun. It's his moment in the spotlight to get to do something like that. And I did, the one I did the magic trick, and because I said, remember I showed it to you, disappearing
right.
card thing. You said, how'd you do that? I said, good, that's the one we'll use then. If you can't see how it's done. And I was going to say, oh yes, when we were doing it, we actually came to film it. I started doing a wee bit of pattern with, look, you know, nothing up my sleeves and da-da-da. And I said, before we went for the take, I said to do my kick, and I said, just say, get on with it, would you? And she did. So nothing up my sleeves, get on with it, for God's sake. But that's the wee moments. I love stuff like that.
Thank you so much. Another question here from this lovely lady on the left.
Do you miss Kathy?
We do miss her from the show. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really, nobody really kind of wanted her not to be in it. It was just because like she was a busy actress and the dates didn't match, and that was really the only reason. So wasn't like that we fell out or anything. And we just, you can tell from the way we've been talking about the show, we all deeply love her as a character. So she was so much fun to write, and doing it as a terrific comedy actress. She's got amazing energy when we were filming. I defer to Alec and Arabella, but she was, so we do miss her.
No, we did miss her. But we loved Siobhan. She was terrific.
Yeah, she
really,
was.
really good.
Yeah, tough role to step into. Well, she didn't step into the role, I'm talking nonsense, but, to fill that gap, I think she did a terrific job.
Yeah, she did.
Thank you so much. Question over here on the right. Hi there.
Is there anything that you would like to change about your character or any other character?
Anything we'd like to change about our characters? Well, how long have you got? I wouldn't mind having a new pair of leggings. I'm wearing the same 4-pound leggings from Asda as I started in 9 years ago. I'd really like Beth to get very, very drunk and really give up. I'd really like to do that, but let's see. I don't know if that'll ever happen because, of course, Beth's the nice one, but I'd love her to be absolutely hammered. Other than that, I don't think I'd change anything.
Yeah. I like it when Eric loses the place, as he does the worm turns every now and again. That's my. I could do with more of that sort of stuff. You don't want to do too much because Eric's very placid. He takes it, keeps it all bottled up. Everybody's coming around making his life a bloody misery. But that's fine. If Beth likes to do that, that's fine by me. And then just every now and again, it just gets too much, and he lets rip. I love that.
Thank you. Great question. I've got a question over here on the left.
Hi, if you could film in any different location just for one episode, what would it be?
I quite like Crete.
Crete's nice.
If we was being realistic, I would love for us to be in a caravan camping site. That would be funny. If we were, in a sort of not very nice camping site, because there's, a caravan sinking into the mud, something like that. Something in the wet highlands, maybe.
Yes.
Well, when I used to watch television back in the 70s, there was all these British sitcoms, like on the buses and things like that, and they would always make a movie, and they were always on holiday. Every single series would be on the buses in Mallorca or on the buses in Benidorm or whatever, and they were always stinkers. You knew the series was coming to a close when they started appearing on holiday together, because what's the likelihood that you go on holiday with your neighbours or your workmates? So I'm quite happy that we don't do that. But if we did do it, I think the Bahamas would be quite nice. I'm just saying that.
You'd be okay
I'm
with
just
that.
dropping a wee hint there.
I'd really love to do. We had this idea about an episode where it was just Christine and Beth going round a supermarket, literally just doing the shop, almost just in real time. Which, I mean, there's mundane and then there's really dull, right? But just think it's just such a kind of recognisable experience, and but I don't know, it'd just be logistically really difficult to shut a supermarket for the time it would take to.
The one I want to do is Beth giving Christine a driving lesson. It's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, enclosed.
I'd like to see that.
But if you went to Asda, you could get new leggings. So there's always that.
That's a good point.
There's always
The
that.
ending's right there.
I'm going for F&F next time, if you don't mind.
Fancy. We got a question here on the right.
If you were in any different series or film, which one would it be? And you have to be honest.
Go closer to the mic. Say it again.
If you had to be in a different series or film, be honest, which one would you choose?
Okay.
Film. I mean, obviously,
Given the choice, okay, I'll let the cat out the bag. The secret's out. I'm going to be the next James Bond.
Yes.
Hey, you heard it here first.
That's a Comic Con exclusive, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, no way, it's not James Bond. What was that again? James Bland.
You won't know this, but there's a series called Alma's Not Normal. Anyone seen that? I'd like to be in that. But I mean, I love being in this, but also, if I'd be a different person if I was in something else, and I don't want to be a different person.
And perhaps for you guys, what series or film would you want to be on the writing team?
Oh, that's so hard. I've loved so much. There's been so many great comedies on the last few years. I loved Dairy Girls. Thought that was fantastic. Loved to work on that.
Which?
Dairy Girls.
Oh yeah, there you go.
All right.
I don't think you're the right nationality.
Or gender.
I wish they'd bring back the IT crowd and you guys could just tear that apart.
Yes.
It's my favorite. Yeah. Great question. Thank you. Were they honest enough for you? No.
What did you want us
He
to
knew
say?
I wasn't going to be James Bond.
What did you want us to say?
Oh, he knew. He's not sure. Let us know. We've got time for just 2 more questions right over here. Hi there, sir.
Hi guys. Everybody in my world knows that I'm a massive Two Doors Down fan. I think you've got the gist in meeting me today, how big a fan I am. So really, I just wanted to ask, what can we expect from Series 7 now that it's moving to BBC One, which is pretty exciting and brilliant and well done. Congratulations for that. It's brilliant.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Better make sure you watch, guys, otherwise they'll kick us off BBC One.
So Series 7, gosh, I wish I could tell you more because we're sort of halfway through writing the scripts. I think we've got some, we had some surprises last series, and I think we've got some surprises. I know everybody else says we've got surprises in store, and but I think we do. And I think we're kind of pushing the Gordon character, we're going to push him to his limits. I think we're going to continue to push Beth and Eric to the limits of their patience. Hopefully we will still be allowed to be as rude as we were on BBC Two, on BBC One. Otherwise we're not playing. And
ambitions to go to a carvery
there
at some
is,
point.
that's right, yes, just in television.
Hold your excitement.
Yeah, it's
Is
never
it an
been,
all you can eat?
It's, well, I hope. It's never been done on television before, and maybe there's a reason for that. But we're going to film an entire episode in a carvery. So there we go.
Okay.
Meat sweats at the ready. Off we go. Off we go.
Do you know, this is absolutely true. One of the episodes we did in the last series, we had to eat fish pie. Now, it was perfectly good. It was a lovely fish pie. They got a chef in to cook it. I have never touched a fish pie since that episode because we had to eat and eat and eat, take after take. I really, honestly, haven't been able to look at a fish pie or think about a fish pie. In fact, I may have to run off stage in a second.
8:30 in the morning, fish pie is
Oh,
not exactly
God
what you
almighty.
want to have. No.
Thank you so much. Great question. Another question here on the left.
I was just going to go and ask, with regard to COVID, when it came along, how much did it interrupt the process of making Two Doors Down? Was it a big upset for you, or?
Well, that was, I think I can answer that because I was the one that caught COVID first. We were very rigorously tested very early in the morning before we went onto the set, twice a week, wasn't it?
Yes, I think.
Twice a week.
3 times a week.
3 times a week.
Very regular.
You know, we had a COVID nurse who were all tested.
But when COVID started, we were about to film, and we had to wait a year, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, we
so
did.
we,
There was
there
another
a
show in the
hiatus
studio.
like there was for everybody for a whole year.
And then we started, and then they kind of, I think, 2/3 of the way through, they lifted the ban on people going to restaurants and all that sort of thing. And I think it was my missus, I don't know for sure, went to have lunch in Glasgow. We were filming, and she went to have lunch in Glasgow. And I took my COVID test in the morning, and we did a day's work. And I got back to my flat that I was staying in, and the phone rang. They said, your COVID test just proved positive. What? I really, literally couldn't believe it. It can't be. I can't have COVID. I haven't gone anywhere or done anything. And unfortunately, I passed it on. I passed it on to Johnny Watson.
And to me.
Yo, you got it, but you didn't have any symptoms, did you? You were asymptomatic.
I had no symptoms,
You were
but I
just
had to be
playing
in
for
the
sympathy.
flat
There was
for
nothing wrong
10
with you.
days.
Well, during COVID, I have to ask. Thank you. Great question. You look fabulous. Wow. I have to ask. When COVID was going on, and that's when everyone was, on Netflix. What were you watching? What was keeping you occupied, film and television-wise?
I had my life flashing before me. That's what kept me occupied.
That kept
And
you
I
busy,
realised
huh?
it was in black and white. It was a B movie.
I watched, what was that one we were talking about? The American one about the writer? I keep forgetting the name. Hacks. I mainlined Hacks and I can't remember what else.
The Teacher, A Teacher, it was called, I think. There was a drama called The Teacher. Not very funny, but...
Not the octopus teacher. That's
No,
something else.
not my octopus is a teacher or something
that
like
was
that.
wonderful.
My octopus is a teacher.
Oh,
Is that what it's
fabulous.
called? I didn't. Can't remember.
What were you watching? What was on your TV?
Schitt's Creek. I watched a lot of.
that's funny.
And I remember watching.
That's the show I wish
Bridgerton for some-
I was in. Where is he? Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
If they said you've got one show, Schitt's Creek, I'd give anything to be in that. That's American.
Next to final question for me. Favorite comedy of all time, besides Two Doors Down? You can do film, TV, either or both. It's a tough one.
It's a tough one. Favorite comedy of all time.
I'll go first. Well, I've got a couple. Like UK, I think The Office. I think, and I know it's
Yeah.
like an obvious thing to say,
Yeah.
but it's like just such a perfect piece of work, like unbeatable. And Curb Your Enthusiasm, the American show with Larry David, is again, I think, like almost a kind of high watermark that's impossible to better. So both of those.
I think I'd go for The Royal Family, and if it was American, Will and Grace.
Oh my God, I love
And I go for One Foot in the Grave and probably Schitt's Creek.
I loved the Gary Shandling show.
Oh, God, yeah.
That just blew me away because he broke all the conventions with it and stepped outside the set and, talked straight to the audience, all that kind of thing. I thought he was a genius.
And a British one, please. Thank you, Alex.
Throw one in there.
So I thought it was just one.
You can
One
pick more
American,
than
one UK.
Yeah.
Who decided that?
We
all of a
did.
sudden.
They
By
took it
mistake.
upon
Just play
themselves.
the game, arguing always.
You've caught me on the hop. British one.
On the buses. There you
Not
go.
on the buses. No. I was going to say The
Love
Office.
thy neighbour.
I was going to say The Office as well. I think that broke the mold. That was a brilliant series. And I know people love the American one as well. For me, it didn't work quite as well because The Office, it took me a wee minute. I think I had to watch a couple of episodes thinking, what is this? And then I got it. The penny dropped. Because we just had these fly-the-wall documentaries. Like there was the hotel one. There was one on board a luxury cruise ship. And the thing was that everybody, of course, all the staff and the crew, realized they were being filmed. So they weren't really being real. They weren't being natural because they knew they were being watched by cameras. And Ricky Gervais was sharp enough to pick that up and turn it into The Office, which is why, because when he started doing all the little looks to camera, I thought, well, hang on, what's going on here? And of course, you realize he knows he's being filmed for a TV fly-in-the-wall documentary, and this is his big chance to hit the big time by, kind of playing the role, and looking for wee opportunities to show what a wonderful guy he is. And it was toe-cuddlingly cringeworthy. I thought he was brilliant in that.
I've forgotten Modern Family.
Yeah, Modern Family.
Love Modern Family.
Great
That was a
writing.
big one for me in COVID. Yeah, Superstore, Wings. Did you see Extras at all with Ricky Gervais?
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
So funny.
Yeah.
We're just sitting here waiting for a Ricky Gervais cameo to happen on Two Doors Down. Keep watching. Again, you guys, I am so thrilled that through Grado, I discovered this amazing show, and I'm such a fan of all of yours. So thank you for being here with us.
Thank you very much.
Any final thoughts for your fans or anything you're looking forward to after Comic-Con?
After Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Offers of work.
A drink.
A drink. Good answer. What about you guys?
Straight home to the hotel to work, I think, tonight. Is that right?
Yeah, we've got the 3 scripts done, another 3 to do for Series 7, and just absolutely thrilled that people know the show and stuff. And it's when you're a writer, it can take a few years. And Gregor and I have been writing for quite a few years, and I'd say this is the first show that really. It's certainly the first show that's kind of allowed us to come somewhere like this. So it's a great pleasure to see you all here and to know that you've just watched it, whether you like it or not, as long as you've watched it. It's great. No, it's fantastic. Thanks.
Liked it, watched it, loved it. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Wishing you
Thank
continued
you.
success. It's such an amazing experience to meet all of you guys. And of course, exciting news about BBC One. So there's more to come from Two Doors Down. So give this amazing cast and the writers a big round of applause here in Aberdeen.